Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Jamie. I am a certified tarot reader and a professional wellness coach. And this is your weekly energy check-in. We are going to do a 3-card pull to see where you are at right now on your journey. We are going to see what the challenge is or the energy that is impacting you currently and how you can navigate it, how you can work through it, or even how you can shift and change it. So let's see what the tarot has to say. I'm going to give these just a quick shuffle. Let's see. Where are you on your journey? Where are you on your journey? Right now we have the Star in reverse. So the Star in reverse can kind of feel like there is a lack of faith, a lack of hope, maybe this feeling of disconnection from the self. Remember, you are a direct connection to the divine. And when we struggle to connect in that way, when we struggle to really tap into our own energy, to the self, we struggle to tap into the divine. And it can create feelings like a lack of faith, lack of hope, feeling hopeless, and really feeling disconnected from our overall purpose. What is the energy that is impacting you? Some of you, the energy that is impacting you is a relationship that is not balanced. There is a lot of imbalance within the connection. This can also represent that there's a need to, you're not making choices that are aligned with your values. You're not making choices that are aligned with what it is that you want, and you're probably not making choices that are best for you. When the Lovers is in reverse, yes, it can represent that there's a relationship that is out of balance. So for those of you that are in relationships that feel very disconnected, that feel like you're struggling with hope, you're struggling with faith, there's an imbalance within a romantic connection. Now, this imbalance can ultimately be directed or corrected by communicating what the issue is. It can be corrected, or you can turn the energy by by making decisions that are best for you within the connection. But ultimately, for those, since this is a collective, for those of you who are not in connections, who are not in relationships, there is the energy that is impacting you is essentially the choices that you're making. You are not making choices, like I said, that are in alignment with what you want. You're not making choices that are in alignment with your highest self or the highest version of yourself. So I was just checking my microphone. And then here, how you can correct this energy. You need to allow things, the world in reverse. And here, the thing about this is right now, these are 3 major arcana. Arcana, they are known as like big energy. They're like the life or the pivotal moments throughout our lives. So right now, this is a very pivotal moment for a lot of people, with Saturn stationing direct and now Neptune stationing direct in the next couple days. A lot of people are experiencing karmic cycles that are closing. We are closing out a year 9, and those karmic cycles that are closing are trying to bring closure. They are trying to come to a cycle or trying to end a cycle. But how you need to shift this energy, or how you can work with it, is that you need to maybe bring some closure, maybe to past hurts, bring some closure to past resentments. If you are carrying past energy into a current connection, or just even with you from a past connection, again, whether that is pain, hurt, anger, resentment, if you are carrying all of that with you, it's not allowing the cycle to close, whether or not a relationship has ended. And this is discussing a past relationship, something that has already ended. If you are carrying that pain, if you are carrying that hurt, carrying that resentment with you, the cycle isn't closing. All right. And because the cycle isn't closing, a new one cannot begin. The world card represents, when it's direct, represents a new beginning. It represents a higher sense of consciousness, a higher state of awakening or awareness, a sense of achievement, and a sense of overall feeling that everything is going to be okay and the energy itself is now moving forward. But when it's direct, how you can work with this energy is that you need to address any of the past baggage that you may be carrying. You need to allow yourself to learn from any past relationships that didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? What was the part that you played? Right? Because and that is not victim shaming, that is not victim blaming, but at some point in time, we all have a certain level of accountability that needs to be taken within a connection. So say you are in a very unhealthy relationship and you stick it out and you're trying to make things work and you're trying to do all of these things and it lasts for a very long time, even though you know this person isn't good for you, you knew they weren't doing the things, they weren't doing right by you, you stuck it out anyway. And the accountability part that I'm talking about is you looking at, why did I stay so long? What was I afraid of? What was I trying to achieve? What was I trying to gain out of sticking around in a place that had passed its prime, that had passed its moment, right? What was I wanting? What was I holding on to, right? That's what I mean by taking back and taking accountability for the things, for the part that you've played in the imbalances in your life. So if you are currently in a connection and the connection is not balanced, one, you need to communicate how you're feeling. The Lover's card is governed by Gemini. Gemini is all about communication, right? In order to have a very healthy and balanced relationship, you need to be able to communicate in a very healthy and safe way. If you are not able to do that, then that is another issue. But ultimately, you want to communicate where you feel like things are, where you might be feeling unhappy, where things need to be addressed. You have to communicate that, maybe even create boundaries, and then start making choices that are in alignment for your highest good. And this doesn't even have to be in the context of only a romantic relationship. This could be a relationship with yourself. This could be a relationship with someone else that is very close to you. This could be a relationship that is out of balance. With Neptune being in Pisces, being retrograde in Pisces, a lot of people have been trying to escape very uncomfortable feelings. So it could be unhealthy relationships that you have with food, with games, with social media, whatever the case may be. There's a relationship, there's a connection to something or someone that is out of balance. And there's a lesson that needs to be learned here. There's a sense of closure that needs to be brought by addressing certain emotions that are being avoided at the current moment. So right now, where you are is you're feeling very disconnected, not feeling very connected to your path, to your purpose. And as a result, you're feeling a little bit, you're lacking a sense of faith, lacking a sense of connection to hope. This is because the challenge is that you're not making choices that are in alignment with what you want. You're not making choices that are in alignment with your highest self and your highest good. And how you shift that energy is with the world in reverse. You need to address emotions, memories, past relationships that you may be clinging onto, past things from the past that you might be clinging onto. Why are you clinging onto it? What is not closing? What emotions, what thoughts, memories are not allowing for that closure to take place, right? Let's see. Let's pull some oracle cards to see what additional guidance we can get. Air Dragon helps you rise above earthly matters, communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope, see life from that higher perspective, right? When it comes to relationships, again, if you want a healthy relationship, if you want a healthy, dynamic, romantic relationship, or even a platonic relationship, you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to communicate how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what are you needing or wanting from the connection itself. You have to be able to communicate. So there could be a lack of communication that's occurring. And as a result, it's not allowing for this new beginning to take place. Let's see. Let's do this deck. But the fact that this is 3 major arcana cards represents that this is really big energy. This is a huge moment. This is a pivotal moment. This is something that if you can adjust and adapt to the energy, if you could communicate openly, if you can address past hurts, past resentments, again, whether this is in a current connection or it is over a past connection of any sort of relationship, you can allow yourself to bring closure. You can finally learn the lesson that's being repeated over and over and ultimately turn this energy direct and allow yourself a new beginning. Let's see. Resources, second house. So the second house governs is naturally ruled by Taurus and Venus. And Venus does govern relationships. Taurus governs our resources. So there could be issues with money in relationships that might be a struggle. It could be that you have a very challenging relationship with your own self-worth. The self-worth and value and belief systems are held within the second house, and our self-worth is directly connected to our finances. If we do not feel worthy of a loving, healthy relationship, if we do not feel worthy of abundance, of success, of having a lot of money, if we don't feel that we are worthy of that on a very deep level, it can directly impact the things that we allow in our lives. And remember, money, tangible money, physical money, is just an energetic. It's just an energetic transference, right? Money is energy, right? So when you start to operate from a place where you're beginning to make choices that are in alignment with your highest good, things that are in alignment with your highest self, you begin to show and step into that frequency of, I am worthy of my voice being heard. I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of stability and structure and security. And when you begin to step into that and you begin to embody that and you begin to communicate that, not only do you see that shift energetically, but you will begin to see that energetic frequency play out more in the natural world. Let's see. And this could be that maybe the imbalance is that you're investing a lot of your personal resources, whether that is actual money, your time, your energy, your effort. You're giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and you may not be getting a lot in return. So are you getting back what you're investing? If you're not, then you need to communicate. I need more from this. I need this from you. You know what I mean? Use a lot of I feel statements so that people don't feel attacked when you're communicating. But ultimately, you're needing to probably learn the lesson of not over giving, right? And if you are consistently investing your time, your energy and effort, your financial resources into something that is not giving you that return on investment, it is time to either cut ties with that, or you need to at least take a step back and really begin to reevaluate why you are continuing to allow that to happen. Why are you staying in that energy? Why are you staying in that frequency? If you know it's not in alignment with what you want for your future, if you know it's not in alignment with your values, if you know it's not in alignment with your highest self or your highest good, Why are you continuing to allow it to happen? That is something that definitely needs to be addressed. I'm going to reshuffle those because that one was not even. That one wasn't even reverse. So we're going to give it another shuffle. Be decisive. You need to make a decision. You wavering, what do I do about this? What's the right thing to do? Ask yourself, what works for me and what has worked for me in the past is that I identify what is stressing me out the most. What am I scared of? What is an emotion that is constantly weighing on me? What thoughts or emotions are consistently being repeated? What conversations are consistently coming up between myself and someone else? I look at those things and you begin to see an underlying pattern or an underlying theme. Then it is up to you. Remember that part about accountability. It is up to you to communicate what needs to change. It is up to you to communicate where you feel unhappy. And it is up to you to make a decision on that communication, to make a decision on those boundaries, to make a decision to make the necessary changes that can put you back in that energetic alignment with that future self or with that highest self or that highest timeline. We will pull two more. Oh, that one just came out. Insecurity. Push through any insecurities. What insecurities are preventing you from speaking up? What insecurities are preventing you from being decisive about what needs to change, either within a current dynamic or just within your life altogether, right? What insecurities have maybe, again, if this is an insecurity coming from lack, if you're struggling with your finances, a lot of people are. Don't think that it is just you and that you're doing anything wrong. A lot of people collectively are struggling with finances and resources at this moment. But what insecurities are tied to those resources? What insecurities are left lingering from past experiences? What insecurities need to be addressed and need to have closure brought to them so that you can finally move forward and push through them, move past them. It's your choice. Every day you make a choice of who you want to be. What we do frequently creates our frequency. Last one. Upside down. Things can feel very weird. Things can feel very wonky. Things can feel very upside down right now. Like I said, a lot of karmic cycles are closing. A lot of karmic loops are coming to an end. And with Neptune beginning to station direct on the 11th, a lot of this fogginess is going to clear. And when it does, we could be seeing clearly what needs to happen, again, within relationships, around insecurities, and around our resources in particular, right? So there may be a need to really address self-worth issues, address imbalances within a connection, and address maybe why you're struggling to make certain choices that would actually be more in alignment with who it is that you want to be, right? Why is everything so upside down right now? And is there anything that you can really do about it? Sometimes the energy itself is just, this is kind of the lull that a lot of us are in. So everything does feel upside down. But during that lull, during that upside down time, it's actually an opportunity to address any insecurities. It's an opportunity to address what needs closure. It's an opportunity to really discover what's that underlying theme, what is that underlying pattern that needs to be addressed. So I truly hope you guys help. This has been a wonderful, a powerful reading nonetheless. So I truly hope that you that you enjoyed it and that it has helped. As always, if you enjoy readings like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video. Comment what you enjoyed about it. Comment what thoughts, what themes immediately came to mind as you were listening. And as always, stay tuned for the next one.